A little bit about my story, and then I'm gonna introduce Laura to y'all. So a little of my story is that let me try and go. Okay, so I was actually trying to figure out what to share with y'all because I've had so many transformations since I started working with Laura. So to give you a little backstory, I have 3 young adult children, a husband, and I actually just turned 50. So as many of you know, this is a huge time in life where we stop and question literally everything, like our successes, our failures, our past decisions, and our future. So this kind of thinking really leads to lots of overthinking and puts us into a mindset that we allow ourselves to get into. So the past 3 years for me have been really, really difficult. I was an entrepreneur my whole life, so like with brick and mortar stores. So after selling our last business, moving across country, we were actually going to open a new business here in Colorado, but then COVID happened. And after that, we just were not able to work with the new prices of leasing or buying in the Colorado area. So I had to kind of find a new path for myself, and I went into the online space. And literally since then, for the past 3 years, I have been looking for something that actually works. I felt like there was really a block. There was something just holding me back from moving forward. And there was, just all these questions like, why can't I find that one thing? And so thank goodness I did keep moving forward and I didn't give up on the online space because I finally found this community after trying quite a few more businesses. And of course, this, like it's changed so many others, has totally changed my life. And so I want to be clear that, yes, I have made very good money since coming in. In fact, the past 2 weeks have really been my best weeks. I made over $6,000 in just the past 2 weeks. And that hit me a little bit over $35,000 total. So I'm extremely grateful for all of that. My family is as well. But honestly, what matters to me the most these days is that I'm in the best place of my life. I am the happiest that I've been in a very, very long time. And to me, that makes such a huge difference because it impacts everybody around me. So, that I think that's something too we all want to think about is, yes, the money is amazing, but we also want to be in a great place in our lives and feeling good in order to get to that place. So in addition to Michelle's amazing mentoring, I feel like Laura's strategies really helped me to realize that I'm actually more in charge of my life than I ever knew I was before. So I know a lot of you feel like you're in a mindset of lack and resistance, and I wanted to help people move through that. And notice I'm not saying cast that because we'll always have resistance, but it's up to us to work through it on a daily basis and acknowledge what is holding us back and then decide to move into our happier, more positive thought process. So we truly do create what we think about daily. So I was thinking about my past so much that I was reliving the same thing over and over. And that actually was my block. Like I was creating my block. So now I visualize my new life every single day, the money, the abundance, literally down to details. And that's something I've learned from Laura. And I don't compare myself to others anymore. I don't wish I could be like someone else. I share and promote my way. And then my perfect customer will find me. So mainly what I wanted to share today is that it's a daily decision to stay where you are or to push forward and give your absolute best even when you don't feel like it. And also something that I stress to my people who come into the community is to embrace the process of building this business and your new brand. Because building a brand is not overnight success. It's built over time and it's nurtured, and everything happens at the time that it's supposed to happen for each person. So there's never an ending to this endeavor. It's ever changing and ever growing, just like we are. So I wouldn't be here and be grateful for the success that I'm having now if it wasn't for my difficult experiences that I have had that led me here. So, we hear this all the time. Let's be grateful for the experiences and that your desire for more in life, because that's what led you here to this community. And, you were leading yourself here, even though you didn't know it. So, so that's mainly what I want to share, and that I really truly believe Laura can help us through this and just help us to see our best selves. And so if Laura is here, I am not totally completely sure if she is yet, but I would love to hand it.
Yes, she is, and
she is. Okay.
I've made her co-host so she can unmute.
Great. Thanks, guys. Hey, Laura. Thank you. You want to take it over?
Sure. OMG, it's so good to hear a little bit of your story, and I would love to answer questions. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here and just offer some tips, advice. I didn't know whether you gave them my whole background, but I've been mindset coaching. I'm 48. I've literally been doing this, honestly, manifesting dreams my whole life. I'm living in Malibu, California. I do work with a lot of celebrities, athletes, CEOs, been the mindset coach at Google. But ultimately, it's the messages like I got from you, Susanna, the other day on TikTok being like, I made the most like I've made in one day, like using your simple tools. And I know I'm meant here on the planet like to help break it down in the most simple, actionable ways so you can get to your goals and dreams faster. So first of all, I would love to just like sink into a little bit of trust, because I believe that trust is the highest manifestation of love. And when you trust in yourself and trust in the process, like you were just saying, like sometimes the biggest negatives lead us to the biggest positives. So in this moment, just trust that you're exactly where you're meant to be, even if it means you're ready for big change in 2024. You want to get really crystal clear and then get after it and attract what it is that you want into your life. So I would love to hear in the chat, what is it that you would love to attract more of? And I will help like tailor the next minutes that we have together to, do you have clarity? Do you know if this was like a pen was a magic wand and I was like, tell me in 30 seconds, is your dream more vivid than your current struggles that you feel up against? Are you starting 2024 in opposition to all the things you don't want from 2023? Are you carrying all that baggage forward and making decisions in opposition of what you don't want? Or are you really clear in the direction of what you do want? More money, health, customers, confidence, mindset to attract, perfect customer, abundance, more confidence in yourself, which means then confidence in the path, like trusting, again, that you're exactly where you're meant to be, even if it means that you are ready for big shifts to happen. And a great relief. I'm in week 1 right now of a 6-week blueprint that I'm teaching on. And like the great relief of getting unstuck is understanding like what you want, which it sounds like you want, what your blocks are, what's holding you from what you want, how you behave when you're against those blocks. What are your thoughts? What do you do? Do you, are you stuck then in indecision? Do you get paralyzed in fear? So I'll kind of walk you through some of the steps. But step 1 is like, you might just want to be more clear. It sounds like you actually know what you want, but sometimes people are like, I just want to feel more clear so I know which path to take or, what to do next. So I love it. You're all like kick-ass, like sounding like you're very clear, stability, confidence, financial freedom, empowering myself. I love it. Look at all. Do you feel, clearly you're a community, and thank you again for having me. Feel like the inspiration from one another. Like that's a good collective effort right here, that you are all kind of like, you can come in with a very different path, but all have very similar feelings of the trajectory of where you want to be going. So number 1, where do you want to be going in 2024? And again, just remove that it has to be in anything opposition of 2023 or beyond, your struggles, your challenges. And that too, that the step out of this can be very fast. But like the things that I love to teach are, how do you get there? How do you get there faster? How do you get there even faster? Because just because the struggle might feel big and daunting, or that you've been on this path and maybe that it's been a divot for a bit, or maybe you're not attracting your perfect customers, that misalignment is to redirect you into alignment. So when you see what's off, when you start to understand what your blocks are, And then you learn my flip it tool, where you flip the negative to positive. You learn to flip lack to abundance, doubt to confidence and trust, and anger maybe and frustration into more calm, so you can feel the power inside your heart and move from there. You can make big shifts quickly. And I would love to do just a little bit of tools with you and then answer questions, because I think that, just like sometimes people find me online. I was on Selling Sunset on Netflix. Some people find me because they're still watching that season 4 that I was featured in, or different things. Wherever you found me, or a lot of it is through one another. I fully believe in the power that the answers and solutions that you are seeking are already inside your heart. So know that every answer to every solution is a very different energy to the energy of the problem. And so take out a piece of paper, if you have paper, and I'll do like one of my signature tools with you, which is called the Flip It. Okay, and the Flip It, which is usually a week 2 tool that we're going to do next week, is just like one of my signature tools that I'm known for, just so you can see where you are taking action from. And because where your blocks are, if you don't face your blocks, they usually come back with a vengeance, and then you might keep sabotaging yourself. So right on the top of the page, flip it. And on the left side, and then draw a line down the middle of the page. And this line down the middle of the page signifies courage. Courage is the energy of your heart. When you step into courage and you feel brave and you feel empowered and you're like, I don't even have to know all the answers. I just know, I believe in myself and the direction in which I'm going. And I feel alignment in that. Like, I feel like I can make decisions like a pro. Like, that's for me, that's not for me. And this tool can really help you do that. Because when you're aligned, people say aligned action. Most people are misaligned. You're like, I want that, but my thoughts are telling me you're never going to have that because, right? Then it spins you right back into the same old doubt, because you have these strong reference points of the disappointment or failure or things of your past that are and your brain goes but do you remember the last time that happened? And this happened? And then suddenly your brain thinks it's going to happen again. So that's your brain's job. Your brain's job is to solve problems. So if it thinks it's got a problem to solve, it's going to overthink and give you every variation of what if this, and what if that, and what if this. So if that speaks to you, especially when it comes to business, and you're like, I'm not here, by the way, for just point A to B. I'm a mindset coach that I'm how do you get to that level? Point C to Z, an epic next level. I mean, I've helped companies go from millions of dollars to $1 billion. How do you get to the $1 billion? What is that in your, and it's not just even money. Sometimes it's peace of mind, relief. I want to wake up happy. I want to go to bed happy. I want to be a great role model for my kids. Whatever it is that really makes your heart sing. So this tool is one of my signature tools. I developed a 6-week blueprint called the House of Manifesting. And I'll show that a little bit too. Okay, so do a little flip it. Because one of the most important things in my House of Manifesting content is understanding where are you spinning in what's getting a predominant unnecessary amount of your attention. What emotion? Is it self-doubt? Is it what's the block? So if you look at what you desire, and I love all these desires in the chat, more confidence, more this, more that. Now what's blocking you from that? And so now we got to think about what are you so sick and tired of? So on the left side, right, so sick and tired of. What are you sick and tired of? What's blocking you? Right? Think about something that you want in 2024, and then what are you so sick and tired of? A feeling a certain way, that's blocking you. It's internal. You're always that self-doubt creeps right in, and seeking how is this going to happen? But how? Right? So think about that. What are you so sick and tired of feeling? What are you so sick and tired of thinking? What self-sabotaging thought goes into your brain? I'll never have that. I'm too young. I'm too old. I'm not smart enough. What self-limiting belief do you think about in your head? What feeling are you so sick and tired of? Lack, doubt, insecurity, fear, disappointment. Just think of it. What are you so sick and tired of feeling? What are you so sick and tired of thinking? How does that physically manifest? What are you so sick and tired of getting? Clients that don't match me, like not hitting my sales goal. Like really look at the block. Like what are you sick and tired of? But when you look at it with the lens of courage and just put down your top 3, because once you go past like 4 or 5, you're going to see they're all related to the top 3. Okay, they're all related. I've done this with thousands of people. And sometimes people are like, I got to bring a whole laundry list, Laura. Like, do you have pages and pages of what I'm so sick and tired of? Like, I am in the land of frustration. I am in the land of resentment, or I'm rejecting myself. I'm in shame and guilt. I feel so off track. And I'm here again to remind you that trust is inside your heart right now, just as much as happiness is, just as much as empowerment is, intuition, wisdom, all the answers are in there. So sick and tired of, not having enough, can't provide for my child, feeling like I'm stuck in debt, procrastinating, failing, not having enough money. The not enough is you're on the lack floor of self-doubt, and it's common, but then this is your flip. Okay, so I started with my niece years ago. I don't know if you guys follow gymnastics. My niece is Libby Dunn. I was just on, anyway, she's on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Money issue. Literally helped her create a path that didn't exist for women athletes. She's now the number 1 NCAA female paid athlete. And I love teaching women to literally get after their dreams in paths. Like, again, every path, 1,000 paths could have led you to this moment. You're on this broadcast with me right now. It all just happened to be that, like, I'm just like, Thursday, I could pop in. It's like, right, I like had this little window. I'm like, this, of course, meant to be here. Because 1,000 paths could have led you here, and yet you're here right now. So as a mindset coach, this is very different than a therapy which might go back to heal things. I'm here to help you heal things from your future you that has no resistance to the current struggles you face. There's a version of you that is like, remember when we had that problem? Imagine that version of you. There's a trusting version of you that's like, remember when that felt so daunting? Remember when I couldn't figure out a way to see out of that? So with your flip it, when you look at what you're so sick and tired of, I want you to now feel the courage inside your heart that you are ready to change this, that you put it down pen to paper, your hand's an extension of your heart. You're putting this down pen to paper, and because you're ready to look at it differently. Engage in what's blocking you here differently. Draw that line. I draw it 10 times, down the middle of the page, because I know what courage does. Courage, even scientists have proven, from a neurological to kinesiology, mind-body level, when you make decisions in courage, which is even having the courage to pen to paper this today with me, you are already shifting the energy around this struggle. You're already changing it. You're transmuting it into what's about to happen on the more powerful side. We're going to flip this. So we're going to flip lack to abundance. We're going to flip doubt to trust. We're going to flip the lack of confidence to confidence, right? All that. So the flip it is, again, powerful. So what I want you to do is take those top things that you just identified that you're so sick and tired of, that you do not want to anymore in your life, or to experience do-overs. And I want you to draw 3 lines through the flip it, through the line of courage. Okay, through it. And you're going to shift now to I clearly desire. Because again, you're clear. I feel the power, when I popped in here and you guys are telling me, I want confidence, I want this, I want that, I want this. I want to feel this way, Laura. Okay, amazing. I clearly desire. Now I want you to take a look at the struggle and intentionally go bigger and broader. So if you're like, I don't want to feel like, I'm never going to be able to, I clearly desire, and see if you can make the flip. I mean, I'm doing this in a mini version of this lesson, but it's the opposite. See if it's pointing you to, wow, I clearly desire, if I'm so sick and tired of toxic clients or people not being paid my worth, I clearly desire to attract like people who see the best in me and lift each other up. I clearly desire to get paid my worth and, you know, cover my monthly expenses and tap into the luxury I desire. If you are sick and tired of like indecision, I clearly desire to make swift, clear, powerful decisions in line with my goals. If you're sick and tired of being unclear, like I clearly desire to like feel and have fun with the creative essence of who I am and what I'm meant to do in this lifetime. Like, so there's a flip that's positive to every negative that is blocking you. And it will unstuck you when you start to identify it and move from it. So I'll just give you a minute and see if you can make the flip. I do these live Q&As and stuff in my private group experience, so I can help you flip this and do it with you. But just, yeah, every it's like Newton's law. For every action, there's an equal reaction. I build all my content on science, spirituality, like how it intersects, but I'm here for the practical. I could talk all those things on the deepest depths of depths, but I'm here to be like, all right, how do we do it? How do we do it right now? So like, how do you take out that piece of paper, fold it in half, like draw a line down the middle, right? Flip it, like identify your clear desires. They're coming from your heart. The stuff you start putting on the right side of the page is where your courage and bravery is to step into action as this next chapter version of you that clearly desires these things. So start to keep writing them down with great, great clarity. Like I clearly desire, I don't need to know how to get there. Your brain will be like, but how? Right? But you could say, I clearly desire to make $10,000 this week. I clearly desire to tap into the abundance that I desire and deserve. I clearly desire to feel my worthiness and reflect that self-worth into my business so I can reach unbelievable goals. So really, really stretch yourself here, but go intentionally broad. Like it doesn't have to be as specific as $10,000. It could be as specific as I clearly desire to, just turn up the volume a little bit, like to like on your abundance. I clearly desire to step into more and more blank. It'll be more believable to your brain. Because a lot of people say these affirmations like, I am rich, I am this, I am that. But then like their brains are like, but I don't, but you don't, but you're not, but you don't feel that way. And it creates a misalignment where your heart's like feeling one thing and your brain's going in the opposite direction. So misalignment creates a wishy-washiness, and wishy-washy energy creates wishy-washy results. That puts many of you into avoidance, and avoidance energy magnifies the problem. All of these are like lessons inside my mindset school, but the whole point is that you have the power to flip all your negatives into positives. Every action has that opposite reaction, and now what you got to do is look at the so sick and tired list and be like, 1,000 paths could have led me here, and here is what I'm so sick and tired of. But I'm receiving these as my lessons right now with great, great courage and clarity so I can tap more deeper into what I'd actually desire and then act from that version of me. So if this version of you, what you're so sick and tired of, if you keep taking action from that version of you, like where you're like, so now let me fix it. Now let me do this. Let me find the evidence to justify why I'm so stuck. You will be exhausted. You will keep remanifesting the same old do-overs in different formats. And you'll just keep spinning yourself there. And that's not where your energy belongs. Okay? You are more powerful than that. And that's my deep message as a mindset coach, to train everybody through the power of their mind to engage in a different level of thoughts. A negative thought pops up, a positive thought can be the opposite. But proactively choose your thoughts, proactively choose like how to practice the confident, happy, trusting, abundant version of you. If that's not your most practiced you will keep falling into what I call the basement levels of the house of manifesting. You'll keep falling down into, you'll take that elevator ride down and be like, I'm on the floor of lack. On the floor of lack, I am doubting myself. I'm doubting my abilities. I'm doubting even what I see outside of me. I'm always seeking evidence. There's never enough time, never enough money. Everything, my bank account's a reflection of not enough. I look in the mirror, I don't feel enough, right? That's the floor of lack, and we've all been there, and it's not a fun place to be, and it's not a fun place to practice. So what I've built is this like house of manifesting where you can actually consciously choose where you want to be in your own house. I want to be on the floor of happiness where I walk in and I have 3 boys. Like, you know, it's like my most calm, neutral, relaxed version of me. And there's your calm, cool, relaxed version of you is where your power lives. If I'm training like Olympic athletes now for 2024, I'm literally like, I train them calm, neutral, cool, collected, strong, confident living. My company is like literally designed, because if you go into that version of you, happiness is very neutral. It's not excited, like yay, back here. And it's not down there, it's neutral, it's calm, it's like, it's almost unnoticeable for a lot of people. And if it's not practiced, it's usually blocked. And there's an unlimited amount of happiness right now in your heart. And when you are in happiness, for those of you here, I know you're all here for business, your happiness is directly connected to your purpose. When you are happy, you are in your talent. You are showing up into that meeting differently. You are taking that phone call. You are emailing differently because you're in flow. So all of this is literally like to train you first into understanding what takes you out of that state. And then how do you go from happiness to the next floor up in my house of manifesting is confidence, where you learn to draw lines and like not tolerate anything less. You hold boundaries. You know what your worth is. You tap into strength. And then on the uppermost level, I call it top floor manifesting, is trust. Where are you not trusting yourself? Where do you really always go into the basement floor of doubt and versus trust? Because your abundance is tied to trust. And if you're not trusting in one area of your life, that oozes into other areas. So if you're feeling like I can't trust this person, or I can't trust that, or I can't trust my own abilities, like you can literally shift up the elevator and you can start to use your mindset to practice a more abundant version of you. So we can draw it out real fast. You guys are asking me the floors. Okay, so FYI, so I'm just like kind of giving you like mini crash courses right now. Some of my signature tools. I've designed a 6-week blueprint that is literally so life-changing. I'm just gonna post it in here because, and then you know what? I'll make sure I give you all like a code because I know Susanna's like loving it. She's in there. That's the link. Okay. But so that kind of gives you some background on me and all that stuff. But I want to kind of give you a quick crash course on House of Manifesting. So you all should have a flip it right now, right? Of just like what you don't want, what you do want, what you're sick and tired of. This clear vision, before I show you the House of Manifesting, this clearly desired vision, I just want you to know that it's completely possible. Even if you don't know how. It's most important right now that you know what you want, not how it's going to manifest, not how it's going to come to you. When you're in trust, it happens in the most amazing, not surprising ways. Everyone in my community, our hashtag is amazing, not surprising. Like you won't believe this. This conversation happened because I was in happiness. I was in flow. I walked into the coffee shop. I talked to this person. Like, you're never going to believe this. And I'm like, I believe it because you could have never orchestrated it because you don't orchestrate the how, but you do hold the vision. And most people's attention is going towards what they don't want or avoidance of what they don't want or how to fix what they don't want so they can get what they do want. And I'm telling you, fix it energy, these are all little side lessons, but fix it energy is coming from neediness. It's coming from lack, which will spin you back to self-doubt. So I made an architecture kind of built on the map of consciousness that is really game changer. So take out another piece of paper and write House of Manifesting. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Laura St. John. And this is my 2024 reveal. I've been doing this content with private clients, and I just brought it into my private group coaching experience. And what I want you to draw on the middle of the page is a giant H, kind of like, yeah, Suzanne's holding it up. Actually, you know what? I'll draw it with, maybe I'll just draw it with you, but this is kind of fun too to do it on, since I got you on Zoom. I want you to draw an H in the middle of the page, and she's holding hers up. I'll stop my share for a sec. Okay, so basically, kind of like that size. Okay? I want you to see it way. Here we go. I'm gonna do it with you. You guys into this? All right, I love this stuff. I'm a teacher at heart. I come from a line of teachers, and I'm here to really break things down so you can change your life immediately. So take a big H, and now take that H and kind of keep drawing it as if that's the ground floor. And I don't know about you, I live in Malibu now, but I started this vision when I was living in Denver. I used to own Pearl Street Fitness, for those of you in Colorado. And I always wanted to live at the beach. So here's a little palm tree. This is the ground floor of your house of manifesting. So for me outside, there's palm trees and waves, but maybe for you, it's mountains and pine trees. Wherever you are, wherever you are around the world, just know that that's the ground floor level. So just something to signify that that's the ground floor of your house of manifesting. Okay. So I write on top, house of manifesting. And this is just one of the tools I coach from that I've built. And then I want you to make 3 basement floors and 3 upper level floors. Okay. And I want you to, now just so you know the different emotions that you fall into, I want you to go on the lowest level is guilt. Energetically, when you're in guilt, you're in shame, you're in self-rejection, you're hating yourself. It's the low, you are rejecting love. You are feeling guilty for maybe being off track, for making decisions that, carried you into a place. It's just, you know when you're in guilt. Not a pretty place. It's a sneaky energy. It just kind of slides right in, and it tethers you to your old reference points that are not helpful, okay, that are not happy, that are not moving you forward. The next one up is doubt. This is where all the lack is. This is the lack of everything. This is where you're worried about how, you're worried about all the negatives. You don't see a path. You need evidence. Doubt. Okay, when you're in doubt. This is where not enough is, never enough time, never enough everything. Doubt and lack are very tied. The next one up, which is kind of what I just walked you through the flip it list, is anger. What are you so sick and tired of? What are you frustrated with? What? The reason I brought you here first as a tool is because you can get really clear. Okay, anger is a very whoosh. What are you so sick and tired of? Okay, but it might be so sad too. It might make you feel like you're gonna cry. But anger is a frustrated whoosh. That a lot of people move from in a very misdirected way. Okay, I'm angry, now I'm gonna just email this person. I'm gonna leave that thing. A lot of people move from anger, but it's still in fear. So all of these are, when you're taking action from any of these places, if you see them on the left side of your flip it list, you're taking action from the negative, which will remanifest the negative. So the flip it, which is kind of what you did, is to flip into, this is a house. This is your house of manifesting. And I train you guys when you're in my coaching, that there's an elevator that you can go into. There's an elevator for everybody else on the planet that might be hey, this happens. Your triggers, someone calls you up, someone sends you the email, and suddenly you're this person did this to me, and right? Okay, but now, again, there's tools where you learn to choose your emotion. I'm going to proactively tap into courage, and then I'm going to go into these next things. So the first floor that I have on this is happiness. That's why I said when you're in happiness, this is where the front door of your house of manifesting lives. This is the ground floor. These are basement levels. This is all like stuck in the basement. There's no lights, all fear, no love, just fear. So you are happy. Okay? The happy you, again, is a very powerful you. Content, satisfied. When I train you guys, it's like the gentle smile. That gentle smile of your like head nod to yourself in the mirror versus the version of you that rips yourself apart. Okay? So there's that version of you, and I love to train adults, kids, business people, you know. That's a powerful you. All right, the next one up, even more powerful. Well, not more, I guess, like you're just like expanding into another energy of power, which is confidence. Confidence is so clear. Confidence is like, I believe in myself and what I'm capable of. Like I know how to be happy and I know how to be confident. Confident is moving towards trust. Like I don't know how, but I don't need to know how. Like I'm confident it's going to be a positive outcome. Sometimes people have confidence in the negative, but holding confidence is like holding a certain level of certainty. I feel weight lifting off of me. Amazing, Jordan. I love that. This is such a blessing. Thank you. Oh, I love it. Thank you. Thank you. I love, obviously, like I love doing this. I love teaching this to little kids like Mommy and Me Manifesting. And I love teaching this to business people. Like this is the year, people. This is the year that like all things can change extremely fast because the planet needs you to lead with your heart. This is what this does. When you know your emotional power and you don't like blast off into anger, you know, you're gonna like, oh, I can take anger and redirect it into courage, into happiness, and into confidence. I could speak my truth with power. I could step out of the room and say, that's not for me. Like that's powerful. So this is all powerful. Like I'm just kind of giving you a framework. So happiness, confidence, and then to me, I love this floor of trust. I have a deep lesson of how to move out of doubt and into trust. And it's one of the most powerful lessons that I teach on the planet because a lot of people are making trust conditional in their lives. Like, well, I'll trust when this person behaves this way. Like, I'll give you trust and you can earn it when, you know, you don't betray me or this doesn't happen, or I'll trust that I'll be able to make all that money when I have this evidence in front of me. And trust and faith in yourself are very related. And I love teaching trust because trust is an extremely deep emotion that's in your heart, that's in unlimited quantities, just like confidence and happiness. It's just being blocked. So if you're in doubt, you're in the doubt floor, in the guilt and shame rejection floor, you're just blocking these things. If you're in anger, you're really close to transmuting it into courage and shifting it up. So the relief here that I want to give you is like there's this architecture of tools that when you learn like how to stop participating as the version of you that takes that elevator ride down because someone else like took it down, and you're like, gosh, we always co-create here. Like we just spin each other into doubt. I get this email, we start like, well, it's not to fix it, it's to move out of it. And so with this house of manifesting, it's like a 6-week blueprint of training, of understanding like the new identity of the version of you who wants to create the next chapter of the things you clearly desire. And it's a bit of a mix because I've designed like, I'll just share my screen for a sec. Let me see if I have that up. I've designed a lot of tools. Hold on, let me unshare my screen. The link I shared, and just show you, because when you tap into your power and you understand this, then I'll open this up to live Q&A. I forget how much time I have with you guys right now, but I would definitely love to answer some questions. Yeah, why don't we just do that? Like you can hold a new version of yourself. You can step into the identity of you again. That's not just point A to point B, but the identity of the version of you that's looking back and being like, I did that in 2024. I shifted out of these things. I unstuck my blocks. And you'll see whether those are external blocks, like this person, this situation, or internal blocks. All right. Suzanne, I'll kick it off with you since you invited me in, and Michelle, thank you for allowing me to co-host, and everybody else who's here. And I see there's strong, confident men in this house. I didn't know, so welcome. So you are a very powerful group of people. Go ahead, Susanna.
We are. Thank you, Laura, for being here. Seriously, we love it. But something that I was hoping maybe you could share that really stood out to me in our coaching was the picture when you were doing your vision board and showing that, your vision of that view from your house, the picture, and then your actual view. Y'all, this completely blew me away because it's literally like the same view. So
I have so many manifesting stories. I mean, even this artist,
I know we
not
have
a Denver.
vision board. Yeah, we have a vision board training in our community as well. So I know, a lot of us have done the training or want to. But this just blew me away, guys, that, visualizing on a daily basis.
It's a foggy day here right now. But you guys, I manifested this place out of a Denver apartment. I had 3 boys stuffed in 1 bedroom. I had been in debt. I couldn't figure out how. I literally crafted all this. So I had put this on my vision board. And now it's actually my view. It's like the exact view.
It's like the same thing.
It's literally,
it blew me away.
What's that?
It blew me away. It's like the same view.
Yeah, it's a really cool art thing that turns into a vision board and a whiteboard. But it's the same view. And, the whole thing is you want to start giving your dreams the appropriate amount of attention that your dreams deserve. And you want to start giving your problems and challenges, you're not to run and hide from them. You want to really empower yourself, but you don't want to give them, most people are giving them an overwhelming amount of attention and then spinning into anxiety or overwhelm or stress. And it keeps you held there. And once you really understand all my house and manifesting tools and how to we're doing this lesson, we're in week 1 right now. I'm doing lesson 1 on Saturday. It's how to free pass yourself from that emotion. It's not to free pass yourself and pretend that that situation doesn't exist. It's to acknowledge, or plugging back in, that there's a more powerful version of you that can respond differently. Did you have another question? Okay, all right, I'll open it up.
That's it. Thank you.
You're welcome. And can you just remind me of timing so I could be respectful?
We usually go an hour to an hour and a half, right? Michelle, is that about right? Okay. So really, as long as you have to hang out is great. As long as you have.
You have up to another 45 minutes?
Yeah. If you do, we do.
I'll make stuff happen. Let's go. All right. This is awesome. All right. Jeffrey,